Chapter 106. Although everyone had their own thoughts, they finally decided to join Heaven's Gate together. After all, most of them knew nothing about this world. Now that someone had stepped forward and vowed to tell them that they could get out, anyone would want to go and take a look. Just as Kim Won-hoon was about to lead everyone away, caught sight of the path beside the square out of the corner of his eye. He had been to this path once before. It led to the safest game in the end of the world. One path in exchange for another path, with no danger at all throughout the whole process, just like a sightseeing tour. If possible, Hee-jae wanted to go and see the rat girl and say sorry to that child. Everyone, you go with Kim Won-hoon first. I'll catch up with you later. Ko-ya quietly withdrew to the end of the group and said to the others. Kim Won-hoon was a bit puzzled after hearing this. Brother, you'll catch up later? Do you know where our organization is? Hee-jae realized he had made a slip of the tongue and changed his words. I forgot to ask. Draw me a map. Kim Won-hoon nodded, took out a map that he had prepared long ago from his bosom, and handed it to Hee-jae. Our organization is in a school-like place. This is the map I drew before. Kiao Jia-jin looked at Hee-jae with a thoughtful expression. Cheater, what are you going to do? Let's take a stroll around nearby. Hee-jae replied. It won't take too long. I'll go with you, Kiao Jia-jin said as he looked around cautiously. I always feel that this place is a bit strange. Go with me? Hee-jae looked at Kiao Jia-jin in confusion. Yeah, didn't we cooperate? Kiao Jia-jin gave a cheerful laugh. You're my brain. If you get lost, I won't be able to get back. Hee-jae nodded reassuringly. Although Kiao Jia-jin didn't remember what had happened before, he was still the same person. Since that's the case, Kim Won-hoon walked up to the two of them. Brothers, I'll take the rest of the people to the organization. You two should be careful. Cheater, where are we going to take a stroll? Kiao Jia-jin stretched and asked. Follow me, Hee-jae replied calmly, leading Kiao Jia-jin towards the path. The two of them walked through the path for quite a while. Hee-jae had been looking for the rat girl's small warehouse according to his memory. Although that warehouse was small, it carried all of the rat girl's hopes. She must have collected all kinds of odds and ends from many places and then carefully designed this game. But Hee-jae had ruined it all. If he could see her this time, he might as well give her some reasonable suggestions for improving the game to help her earn more pass, which could be regarded as an apology. Strange. Hee-jae looked around the street roughly and didn't find anyone in front of any building. He murmured to himself, did I remember the wrong way? Are you looking for something? Kiao Jia-jin asked in confusion. Hee-jae stopped himself when the words were on the tip of his tongue. Although he trusted Kiao Jia-jin, he still didn't reveal his memories. No, I'm just looking around casually. The two of them turned the corner and were about to continue walking when they saw a black object lying across the middle of the road not far away. Hee-jae was stunned and had a bad premonition in his heart. He was just about to take a step forward when Kiao Jia-jin pulled him back. Yeah. Chia. Wait. Kiao Jin blocked Hee-jae behind him and slowly walked forward. On the ground was a small, emaciated corpse that had already turned black. Her face was bluish-black and ugly. Her skin had begun to fester and dissolve, and a lot of stinking yellow pus was flowing on the ground. And on the lower abdomen of the corpse, a rotten and blooming fleshy flower had opened. How could this be? Hee-jae looked at this small figure in disbelief, his mind full of horror. She was clearly the rat girl, but she had died here. Kiao Jia-jin squatted down, covered his nose, and took a quick look. The corpse has passed the swelling stage and has begun to rot and turn black. She's been dead for at least 10 days. 10 days. Hee-jae was shocked. You said this corpse has been dead for 10 days? It's also possible that it's been more than 10 days. Kiao Jia-jin stood up, covered his mouth and nose, and took a step back. It felt strange as soon as I came here. The stench in the air is very unusual. Maybe a lot of people have died in this city. Hee-jae slowly walked forward, feeling a dull pain in his mind. Why had everyone been resurrected? But the rat girl hadn't. Did this child not have the right to be resurrected? Then Keisha thought that the sheep girl had also been resurrected. Why was the rat girl, who was also one of the zodiac signs, still here? Cheetah, do you know this person? Yes. Keisha didn't know how to answer. He didn't even know the name of this child. They had only met in a flurry, but if he hadn't shown up, she wouldn't be lying here at all. He walked to the side, picked a small dark red flower from the roadside, turned back, and placed it on the rat girl's chest. If this child had a choice, she might choose to have never met him. I don't know her. I just feel a bit sorry to see such a young child dead here, Keisha said to Qiao Jia. Let's go. Although Qiao Jin didn't understand Qia's behavior, he could only follow his brain and leave. After taking 3 steps, Qiao suddenly thought of something and stopped in his tracks. What's wrong? Qiao Jin asked. Qiao turned around in confusion and looked at the rat girl's corpse. He always felt a sense of incongruity. He looked around the rat girl again. Besides the pus spilled all over the ground, there was nothing there. Where was the mask? Qiao frowned. If the scene here had remained the same as it was 10 days ago, why was the mask missing? Was it stolen by someone, or had it been taken away by Suzaku? Although he had returned to the end of the world with his memories intact, Qiao still knew nothing about this place. If he wanted to figure out what was going on here, he could only go and see Chu Yang. Nothing. Let's hurry up and meet up with the others. The two of them left the alley and returned to the previous square, which was now empty. Haizhao looked up at the screen again. It still read, I heard the echo of calamity summoning. The echoers he had seen before had never continued to echo for such a long time. It seemed that Hanwei Imo's ability was really special. After staring at the screen for a while, Qiao suddenly noticed that there seemed to be some words carved on the pillar under the display screen. He walked closer and took a look. To his surprise, there were 2 numbers. 87. He reached out these 2 numbers. These numbers seemed to be scattered all over the city. What on earth did they represent? I have so many questions that I want to ask Chu Tianqiu you now. Qiao turned around and suddenly found an old, withered face with a smile in front of him. That person stood on tiptoe, and his whole body was like a dead old tree. He was constantly getting closer to Qiao with his wrinkled face.